2022 council meeting for the city of Sierra Vista. I'll call the meeting to order. Mrs. Adams, may we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Rick Mueller,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Rachel Gray, Councilmember William Benning,
Present.
Councilmember Gregory Johnson,
Present.
Councilmember Angelica Landry,
Present.
Councilmember Mark Rodriguez,
Present.
Councilmember Carolyn Humphrey. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Mrs. Adams. Before we go on, I just want to mention, like I did on Tuesday, the reason the Mayor Pro Tem is not here is her sister passed away, so she's with family in Mississippi. So I would ask you to keep she and her family in your prayers and in your hearts the next couple of weeks. So with that, we will start as we usually do with the invocation tonight, led by Pastor Randy Youngblood, and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Rodriguez. Will you please stand as you're able?
If you'd like to join with me in prayer, oh Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessing of living in the community that we have. And I thank you for the men and women who serve and work hard to make this a better place. I pray that their service would be a joy and not a burden, that their actions this evening would honor those who have come before and lead to a blessing to those who come after. And so thank you for this evening and bless them with wisdom and knowledge. In Jesus' name, I pray this prayer. Amen.
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 Come around.
But you're going to take it. Go ahead. Is it you? Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I forget sometimes to make a better door than a window.
That's all right. Then I jump on the table one day.
That would have been entertaining.
Okay. Let's see. Item number one is the acceptance of the agenda. Oh, thank you for the invocation, Pastor and Mr. Rodriguez. Item number one is the acceptance of the agenda. Dr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the agenda for regular city council meeting of February 10th, 2022 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any additions, corrections, comments on the agenda? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We now go to the city manager's report. Mr. Patuchik.
Thank you, Mayor Mueller, members of the council. Your next regularly scheduled work session is scheduled for February 22nd to 3 p.m. here in the council chambers. And the highlight of that session will be our mid-year budget review, which will effectively also kick off our fiscal year 22-23 budget process as well. And then, of course, your next council meeting is scheduled for the 24th, 5 p.m. here in the council chambers. A reminder that city offices are closed Monday, the 21st of February in honor of President's Day. And, of course, that will move the refuse pickups back. So the Mondays will be on Tuesday, Tuesday will be on Wednesday, and then, of course, regular Thursday, Friday, and no special pickups that week. A number of reports today. First, we did receive our December sales tax reports, and I'm pleased to report that those ran 9.5% over last year's as well. So we've now got 4 months in a row running around 9.5% sales tax growth going into December. I'm still anticipating that those numbers will settle out a little bit, but we had a very, very strong first half with a budget of $10.4 million and receipts of $12.4 million so far for this fiscal year. So excellent news on that front. Also wanted to mention we had a meeting of the Joint Powers Authority Board for Ccom this morning. The sheriff was there. It was well attended, and I'm pleased to report that we're getting some hires in there, so hopefully that'll take some of the burden off the existing staff. The pay increase for staff is also being implemented this week, and the National Guard is stepping up and helping out and being trained, and is also working at Ccom as well. So some of the innovative things that we're looking at are starting to pay some dividends as well. Projects, we did receive the bids for the Avenida Escuela extension and Charleston Road replacement project. Those were bid together, and it's kind of a good news, bad news story. So both of them together came in under budget by $453,000. So that's good news. But they came in opposite of what we thought, meaning that the Charleston Road rebuild came in higher than the Avenida Escuela project back behind Walmart. And as a result, Walmart, which was on the hook for half of the bridge and the south side of the road improvements, but not the north side improvements connecting the road to Sear Park, we had budgeted at $1.25 million share for Walmart to pay. Well, since they're only on the hook for the smaller amount, that came in at $395 instead. So I guess Walmart's getting a deal. It's better to get the money from Walmart than not.
Chuck, you said Sear Park, you meant?
All right, I mean Paez. Sorry,
Paez. Paez, yes, sir.
Thanks. So that puts us actually $401,000 over. The good news is we anticipated higher costs, so we did budget an additional $500,000 in HERF to cover this contingency. So we're not going to have to dip in any other reserves or monies to carry out the project. We did only receive one bid from K&G, so when they're finished on the west side of Fry, they will move then over and do those two projects after that. So that's going on. And then the Sear Center parking lot CDBG project, those bids are due on February 22nd. And then the annual street maintenance patching and seals project, those bids are due on March 2nd. And we mentioned the airport sign, and that's been demolished, and the sign is complete. So now they have to pour the concrete, let that cure, and then they will install the sign, and that should be done within the next 2 weeks or so. And that's all I have tonight for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patuchik. Any questions for Mr. Patuchik on his report? Okay, well, it sounds like we're making some good progress. Okay, next is awards and presentations, and I'd ask Mr. Patuchik to join me up front for the first part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this month, the Arizona Association of City Managers met for their annual convention, and each year they award people for excellence. And they have finally figured out what we have known for years and years here in the city of Sierra Vista, that we have the best city manager in the state. And Chuck was recognized.
Oh, wow.
Each year they present. And you're going to have to help him with the pronunciation here. The John J. Jack the Balski Professional Excellence Award for the best city manager in the state of Arizona, and it's presented to Mr. Charles Patuchik. Say something.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As everybody knows, I'm not much for personal recognition, but to be recognized by my peers in the state is a special thing. And a couple words. First about Jack Balski. He was the league director for the League of Arizona Cities and Towns for 40 years, from 1957 to 1997. And in that time, he was the father of the Phoenix freeway system. He's the father of our water laws in the state, groundwater laws that protects our water basin here in Sierra Vista. He also was the father of the state shared revenue system that we count on for our budget every year. So probably the most influential person in state and local government in Arizona, arguably in the state's history. So I'm very pleased to get an award in his name. So I appreciate that. So just want to thank the community that my wife Maureen and I have been able to call home over the last 36 years. It's been a great community to live in and work in and raise our kids in. So we appreciate that. Mr. Mayor, want to thank you and the council, obviously, and your predecessors. There's been like 18 of them I've worked for, but nonetheless, for allowing me the privilege of serving the community and working for you over the last 36 years, 26 as manager. Like to thank also the staff, because anybody in a position like mine can't do anything by myself, and they're represented here on my left and over there to the right. And I've had tremendous people to work with through the years, and the prior staff as well. And without them, wouldn't be standing here tonight. So anyway, thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Chuck. Well deserved. Next, we have what everybody's here for, is the poster contest for WaterWise. So I would ask you to come up and do the presentations. We'll all appreciate everything. So this is Alex Cosmiter. And you can either do it here at the podium or
All right, I'll take the mic.
okay.
As long as I can stick some stuff here. Hopefully nothing falls. Let's hope that there's a minimal amount of disaster. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. This was a little strange in coming because obviously we had the pandemic, and this would have happened in probably March or April of 2020 and 2021, but everything has been shut down. But that does not diminish the accomplishments of these kids who worked extremely hard for this poster contest. There are a lot of people who I wish I could still recognize them tonight, but they're not here. So I, for the sake of brevity, have chosen just the ones that have shown up tonight to recognize. That was me shuffling at the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the grand prize winner of 2020. Thank you. Although I don't know if she... let's see, Colette Ego, are you here today? Okay, so she did not show up today. That's too bad. Okay, this is how this process has been. I meant to have a PowerPoint presentation. I do have a PowerPoint presentation, but apparently there's a no.
I'm just here to help you.
Thank you. Can I tell that much that I'm nervous? Okay. Okay, so can I go ahead and call up the first place for 6th grade, which I realize they're now in 8th grade, Hannah Gibbs.
Ask you to stay up here until all the first places are listed, and then we'll get a picture, and we'll do that with everybody else as we go by, okay?
I think there's actually, I had originally planned on going for, but 2020 and then 2021. Okay, so Oliver Sherman, you can come up here.
You might want to take that certificate and put your poster in front of it so people can see what your poster looks like. Is there just good artwork in there?
Fantastic idea. Jasleen Beggs.
She was 3 when they did it.
And so this is the people who were great enough to come and get recognized today for 2020. So I'm going to move on to 2021. And
Can we get just a picture with the 3 winners?
Sure.
Show me your art, guys. There we go.
Uh-oh. We need a new one.
All right.
Oh, another one.
All right, thank you so much. And now for our 2021, some of our winners. So Zyla Briones was our Briones? Briones. I'm sorry for butchering your name. 2021 poster contest first place and grand prize winner.
There we go. That's what we want. Yeah. Big ribbon.
Ah, Lord.
Nice.
And we have Bethany Hammerhausen was the third place winner for this.
Congratulations, man.
Let's see. Is there anyone that I missed? Okay, because that would be bad. Okay, so we got our 2021 winners, and congratulations to you guys. Let's go ahead and take a picture. Awesome, thank you. The current, there's currently a poster contest going on this current year's, and fingers crossed everything will happen contemporaneously. So we should we'll have a new batch, and I'm sure for all of you guys who are still in 3rd through 8th grade, which I think is most of you, you are eligible to compete as long as you are still in the Sierra Vista area. Hopefully your teachers let you know of that, and if not, then you can come take a look at our website. But hopefully you know already. And I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for coming. I know that this was a long time coming, and I really appreciate your support of your kids, and thank you for engaging in water-wise practices and for showing your compassion for the environment and for showing your artistic know-how. All right. Thank you very much.
We are. Important stuff going on here.
It's a school
Where'd
night.
everybody go?
We're issuing liquor licenses.
That's why I always
really
say.
important.
Lost our audience.
At home on TV.
Well, I just want to say I want to thank the Waterwise folks for their youth contests. This is one of the ways the city gets the word out about saving water, and we really appreciate their efforts. And it's always good to see the kids.
Yes, sir.
Next item is a public hearing item. Item number 2, Ms. Humphrey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2022-004, a Series 9 liquor license application for an interim permit owner transfer limited liability company type of ownership for Michael Joseph Basha on behalf of Rallies Arizona LLC, doing business as Food City, be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Adams, may we have the staff report, please?
Mayor Mueller, members of council, as mentioned, this is an application for an ownership and interim permit change for the license that's currently housed at the Food City here in town. It's a Series 9, which is a liquor store license. It's a quota license, which entitles the owners to transfer it, as opposed to, say, a restaurant license, which is not transferable. The notice of the public hearing tonight was posted on the premise the required amount of time, and no comments have been received from the public, pro or con. A background has been done on the applicant, Mr. Basha, and the police department has no objection to this moving forward. If approved tonight, it will be returned to the state for final action. It'll go out tomorrow, and Mr. John Habib is in the audience tonight if you have any questions on behalf of Mr. Basha.
Thank you, Mrs. Adams. Any questions for Mrs. Adams on this item? Mr. Habib, did you want to speak with us or not? Well, it's not required. I think you're going to be okay.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
Just to clarify, right? So, Food City is not closing. It's just changing ownership. It's no longer associated with Bash's Food Services. It's now under Rayleigh's Arizona, correct?
Rayleigh's Arizona LLC bought the business from Bash's.
Okay.
Some members of the Bash's family are still involved in management. It
Okay.
was in the liquor license that Mr. Bash is going to remain
Right.
the primary contact point, but the name is staying the same, the management is staying the same, the employees are staying the same, the layout is staying the same.
And the sweetbread, right? The Mexican baked goods are going to stay the same.
Got some concerns.
We're good
there,
here.
right? hit the most important right away.
Any further discussion on this item?
No, sir.
Seeing no further discussion, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And looking forward to many years of business with you guys. Okay. We now move to item number 2, or excuse me, item number 3. Mr. Benning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that resolution 2022-005, a location transfer of a Series 6 limited liability type liquor license for Wacy Austin Barta on behalf of Dub Ventures LLC, doing business as Punchy's Tavern, be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Mrs. Adams, may we have the staff report, please?
Mayor Mueller, members of council, as mentioned, this is a Series 6 license that Mr. Barta, who is also in the audience tonight with us, is requesting a change of location to be located at 1939 Frontage Road. The notice of the public hearing was posted on the facility, and no comments have been received pro or con from the public. A background check has been performed by the police department, and they have no objection to this action moving forward. And if approved tonight, it will be returned to the State Liquor Board for final action and issuance.
Thank you, Mrs. Adams. Any questions from Mrs. Adams on her report? Any discussion on the item?
I've seen the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
Prefer the updates. I like the updates. I like when new businesses do that. They show their progress, from where it started from to where it's going. I love seeing those things. Is that courtyard in the back part of that Suite A?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's applied to be on there. When I spoke with them, they previously had that for general use for the whole building, but it hadn't been in use for several years.
Okay.
So I made a lease agreement with them to get that, and it is included on the liquor license.
Perfect.
application as well.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay.
Looking forward to checking
Oh,
it out.
yeah. Get a little punchy.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Congratulations. We now go to new business. Item number 4, Mr. Johnson.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the regular city council meeting minutes of January 13th, 2022 be approved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any corrections, deletions, amendments to the minutes as proposed? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. We now move on to call the public. I have received no requests from any members of the public to address this tonight, so I'll open the meeting to the public. And not seeing anybody moving quickly, I'll close the meeting to the public. We now go to comments and questions of council. We start tonight with Mr. Rodriguez.
Oh, man, I'm going first. I have a lot. I'll be quick.
We'll be tired by the time we get
All right.
done.
Go get my lunch.
Seems like we haven't had a meeting in a long time, right? So I just had some backlog notes going back from December. Just little things I noticed around our city, like my trash man came dressed as Santa Claus in December. I thought that was great. I got to find out his name somehow, right? I want to thank him personally. That was just things like that, right? That top of the morning, the kids are out waiting for the school bus. The trash man comes around dressed as Santa Claus. Awesome. I love that in our community, right? Things like that. Little things like that are great, all right? People like him, Mr. Brett, who I've seen at the park. I teach class on Fort Huachuca. They do PT, physical training, out at Veterans Park sometimes in the morning. They're out there super early. And the crew is already out there. They're cleaning up, making sure the field's ready to go, make sure the bathrooms are open. Little things like that a lot of people don't see, right? We come to these great events at the park, and everything looks great, and it's all nice. But the behind-the-scenes thing, we don't really take note of too much. I just want to thank people like Brett. I know there's a lot more people on the staff, but he's been doing that thing for 5 years. I asked him how long he's been with the city. So things like that are very important to me, and I love seeing that as well. Some local shout-outs, too, are one of our cheer teams, SV Elite, the Queens, the younger ones, competed in Vegas, along with my daughter and the older girls. didn't do as well as the Queens, but the Queens did advance. They're going to go to Atlantic City, New Jersey, right?
wow.
So they're going to represent our city in Atlantic City. It's normally not part of our cheer rotation, but it's last minute. So they're out there. They have a GoFundMe because it's expensive. Cheer is very expensive, right? So they have a GoFundMe out there. So if you want to go find that and donate to get these girls out to New Jersey to represent our city, it's a beautiful thing, right? We just came back from Vegas, and to see the Sierra Vista name walking all around Vegas and representing our city is amazing. So please go support them. I want to thank the Air Force Thunderbirds over here for a few weeks. That was great for our city. I love that they chose us. They chose our airspace. Another reason why Fort Huachuca is so important, right? Our airspace that we have, that we can allow things to happen like that in our city. And I know some people that work nights weren't really happy with it, but I'm sorry for that. I was a night shift worker for a lot of years in the military, right? So I understand. But the overall was, I think everybody appreciated it. And I see people pulled around the side of the road taking pictures. It was all over Facebook. It was good. So I love things like that in our city as well. Ask the people, please be patient on the West End, right? We've got some comments, and we read them. We know traffic flows, right? We talked about this in our work session. We know the problems. We're going to address them as needed, right? Maybe add a stop sign if you have to or whatever. But it's being looked at, and we're all aware of it. So just be patient. It's getting there. And just more local sports. Support your local teams, right? JCMS is playing Nogales right now in the back of JCMS. So just support your youth. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. That was a lot of things very quick, and I would just add that please let the parks folks know that they're appreciated, because it's not just the one individual park talk to. They consistently are out there making sure things are safe and clean and operational, so people can enjoy the parks. And they're doing a great job, and they're kind of one of the unsung heroes. And of course, I could say that probably about every department we've got unsung heroes in as well. But please share that with them. Dr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So there's lots going on this weekend, and especially with Valentine's Day coming up. On Saturday the 12th at the Nancy J. Brewer Animal Shelter, there is a lovable open house. One of the things that really interested me, one of the things that really caught my eye is there's a dog kissing booth. That sounds really cool. They're gonna have refreshments and adoption special. So if you haven't found your Valentine yet, or even if you have, there's lots of dogs and cats out there who would love to be a part of your family. So it's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., so definitely go out there and check them out. Also, anytime donations are welcome. And then later on that same day, Saturday the 12th, there's the Women's Council of Realtors. They have their 6th annual dessert auction. Doors open at 6 to 8. It's going to be at Sierra Suites. They have an online bidding that you can do if you check out their Facebook page. The portion of the proceeds will benefit the Legacy Foundation of Southeast Arizona, which is a really great foundation that does a lot of good in our community. So if you're looking for some stuff to do, there's a couple right there for you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. We next go to Ms. Humphrey.
I'm going to add another event in between your two. Saturday's a busy day for us. The Salvation Army is hosting a purse auction and afternoon tea. And same Saturday, this Saturday, February 12th at 1 p.m. Tickets are $20. And it's going to be at 180 East Wilcox. And congratulations to our city manager for that prestigious award. I'm surprised that's the first time you've won it, because you've always impressed me. So congratulations to the Waterwise poster contest winners as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, next go on to Mr. Benning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First and foremost, I got to thank Pastor Randy Youngblood for blessing us this evening. It's always great to hear from him. And I want to congratulate Chuck also. It's well-deserved. It should have won it for the last 20 years, but at least you won it. Good job. And I want to congratulate Belinda as our new vice chair of Parks and Rec Commission. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're good. And Mr. Mayor, other than that, they've covered everything happening this weekend. I want everybody to remember what this month's about. And then, of course, I want everybody to tell somebody you love them on Monday and enjoy Valentine's Day. So be blessed, and thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Benning. Mr. Johnson.
I have nothing to add to all of these fine people's reports. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I do have a couple of quick ones here. Again, Pastor Youngblood, I want to thank you for being here. I had the privilege of listening to him help me open a education forum with our county education superintendent a while back, and he gave a very concise, motivating pitch that got me going. So I appreciate you for that. I'm sure it got the educators going for their conference. So that was great. It's always good to see you. On the 24th of this month at the VFW is the Veteran of the Year lunch, starting at 11:30. If you're interested in going, you can get your tickets on Eventbrite. It runs from 11:30 to 1 basically, and I'm trying to remember the sergeant major's name. Well, and he'll be the grand marshal of the parade that we will have on November 11th, and he's done a great job. He's been the narrator for that ceremony for the last 2 years. So come out and honor him, and everybody's welcome. Of course, it's a $30 luncheon. So see Eventbrite. With that, I have nothing else to bring forward.
Got 2 alibis.
Okay, 2 alibis. Okay.
Real quick. Super Bowl Sunday, right? This Sunday. So along with what Angelica said about the dog supporting the animal shelter, if you are having a large event, set aside a thing of cans and the pull tabs, right? And you can take them over to the animal shelter and help them with that, right?
Aluminum cans.
Aluminum cans and the pull tabs, because that'll help them raise money. They use those. You'll see the big bags of them outside the animal shelter when you drive by. They definitely need those. And speaking of youth sports, I forgot to mention our Buena High School basketball. They're doing amazing, right? So they're having a state game next week. The girls play on Tuesday, the boys play on Wednesday, 7 p.m., right? The boys had an amazing streak. They finally lost to the Catholic school in Tucson that beats everybody anyway, but they're doing well, so go support the youth.
And the games are out in town or
At Buena at 7 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay, so gotta go support the Colts.
Just like Mark, he looked up at me, I looked at him, I said,
Start looking at you, man.
and you know who's leading that basketball team, right? Some young kid named Jones.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of
So-
Joneses around town. You never know.
Yeah.
Any relation? No.
Yeah.
But I know she's gonna watch if she's not watching now, and I just want to say to Rachel, when she does watch, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers, and hope everything's going okay.
Okay. Well, that's a good note to end on. So, seeing nothing else before council, meeting's adjourned.
Yeah, you guys.